Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing an important key term related to economics, that is Black Swan event. Recently, RBI report has come up with a term called as Black Swan event. So in this context, in this video we will see what is this Black Swan event, why is it named as Black Swan, and what is peculiar about Indian economy that has led RBI to come up with a report where it is stating that the entire economy of India is going through or will go through an event called Black Swan event in the near future. So we'll see, where did the term originate from? Okay, this seems a very peculiar term because it is named after a bird, that's Black Swan. So why is it named? What is the significance of it? In the year 2001, a very important person called Nassim Nicholas Taleb, you have to remember the name, Nassim Nicholas Taleb, named the term as Black Swan. Okay, this economic term called Black Swan event was named by this person in the year 2007, that is 1 year before the 2008 global financial crisis, where in his book The Black Swan, this particular person, Nassim Nicholas Taleb, predicted that there will be something called as a global financial crisis in the coming year. So that is the reason why in the year 2007, this particular term and his book and also this person became very famous. So what are the features of this Black Swan event? Okay, we'll come to what exactly is Black Swan event. Before that, what are the features? The first feature, that it is extremely rare. You can't find it frequently. It's extremely rare and it is outside the realm of regular expectation, which means this is something that is peculiar. This is something that is unique. It has a severe impact after it is hit, very severe impact. It will leave its impact, negative impact after it is hit. The third feature, it seems probable in the hindsight, which means there will be some expectation. There will be some expectation that such an event can happen. See, similarly, now the RBI is foreseeing an event called Black Swan. This is the reason why it has come up with the report. So this is an expectation, like it might happen in the near future. It seems probable in the hindsight. These are the three features of Black Swan event. So what does the RBI report say and why does it say so? This is something that is important. RBI report says that FPI outflows, that's foreign portfolio investment. You would have studied one more investment method that is called as FDI. Do you remember this? FDI? Comment in the comment box. What is the difference between FDI and FPI? FPI outflows in the year 2022, was as high as 1.98 lakh crores. This is the amount of FPI outflows which are going away from Indian economy in the year 2022 alone, that is 1.98 lakh crores. And you can see here 31,430 crores in the month of June alone. In the month of June 2022, Indian economy has lost around 31,430 crore rupees in the form of FPIs from Indian economy. So these two events, where the FPI is getting withdrawn from the Indian economy, has led to the loss of 7.7% of GDP. This is the expected loss in the year 2022 because of the outflows of FPI. So two important reasons that we can come up with when we talk about the FPI outflows. One important reason is that the Federal Reserve increasing the interest rate. When the Federal Reserve is increasing the interest rate, then the Western countries, the people from the Western countries who have invested in the FPI, they have withdrawn their money. Second one is the volatility associated with Indian financial markets. Indian financial markets, after the COVID-19 pandemic was hit, okay, you all have been witnessing the volatility associated with Nifty and Sensex. Because of the volatility in the Indian financial markets and the global economy, and also the Federal Reserve increasing the interest rates and the inflation that are going high. Okay, because of these two reasons, most of the Western countries and the people belonging to the Western countries who have invested in the Indian FPI, that is foreign portfolio investment, that's equity investment, they started withdrawing their money. Okay, because of these two reasons, we are seeing 7.7% of losses to our GDP. What is white swan and what is black swan? Let's just see this, white swan and black swan. How is it different? Black swan event we have seen. Okay, black swan event we have seen. Why did this term actually emerge? How? What was the rationale behind naming this as black swan? See, till the year 1697, the only swan that the Europeans knew was white swan. Okay, the only swan that the Europeans knew was white swan. So in the year 1967, a person from the present day Australia, he identifies a black swan. After this black swan is identified in Australia, this becomes a reason for surprise, and this is something because of the surprise element associated with it and the shock element associated with the discovery of the black swan in Australia. Any event where there is a disruption or any event where there is an element of surprise will be called as black swan. So in the same case here in the economics, when the foreign portfolio investors are withdrawing their money from Indian financial markets, this is a sudden shock for the economy. So because of the shock element associated with the withdrawal of the FPIs, this event is called as black swan event. Okay, this is called as black swan event. If it is gradual, then it will be called as white swan event. Now you might have a question. Can you consider the COVID-19 pandemic as a white swan or a black swan? Okay, can you consider the COVID-19 pandemic and the aftershocks of the COVID-19 pandemic as a white swan event or a black swan event? Here the author himself, in the year 2020, when he was giving an interview for a TV channel, he says COVID-19 pandemic is a white swan event and not a black swan event, because COVID-19 pandemic was predicted, and even the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, which lasted for two and a half years, even that was predicted, because of which the COVID-19 pandemic and the economical impact of the COVID-19 pandemic can be called as a white swan event and not a black swan event. So the core economic concepts of FDI and FPI, let's revise it. What is the difference between FDI and FPI? Let's understand with an example. Let's understand this with an example. Two companies, let's take for example Tesla, okay, and let's take Alibaba for that matter. Two important companies, very big companies. If Tesla is setting up their manufacturing industry in India, if they are purchasing a land, constructing a factory, recruiting the employees, and Tesla is setting up their assembly line in India in order to market the cars in India, then it is considered as an FDI, foreign direct investment. When Alibaba invests in Indian company, like for example, let's take the example of Flipkart for that matter. If Alibaba invests in Flipkart the same way the Walmart invested in Flipkart, when Alibaba invests in Flipkart which is less than 10%, then it will be called as FPI, foreign portfolio investment, and this will be in the form of equity. One thing that you can derive from this is that when Tesla starts up their assembly line and a factory in India, this will be something that is concrete, this will be stable, this will be for a long time, and the exiting options is limited here. So FDI is something that India craves for, and India welcomes FDI, and if it is in the form of FPI, then it will be volatile. Okay, as we are witnessing the black swan event, so it is because of the FPIs that we will have to see this volatility. So it is always that any country for that matter, they desire FDI over FPI. You can see here, foreign direct investment is an investment made by a firm or an individual in one country into the business interests located in the other country. Foreign portfolio investment, it is the investment made in the securities, okay, that is equity and other financial assets, like for example mutual funds or bond market. So all these are considered as FPI. Let's see a question. Define black swan event associated with economics and explain the differences between FDI and FPI. A possible mains question. You can expect such questions in your mains. Thanks a lot. For more such interesting content, please consider subscribing to Legacy IAS Academy. Have a nice day. Thank you.